Next, we have specification 6, which asks us to outline the process of vaccination. First, a vaccine introduces weakened pathogens or just their antigens into the body. These antigens are enough to trigger the immune system without causing the actual disease. Next, lymphocytes detect the antigens and respond by producing specific antibodies to fight them. Finally, some of these lymphocytes become memory cells, which remain in the body and provide long-term immunity. This means that if the same pathogen enters the body in the future, the immune system can respond quickly and effectively, preventing illness. Now, let's explain how vaccination leads to immunity. During vaccination, a harmless form of a pathogen or just its antigens is introduced into the body. These antigens are enough to stimulate an immune response without causing the actual disease. The antigens on the pathogen's surface are detected by lymphocytes. It may take a few days for the specific lymphocyte that can produce complementary antibodies to be activated. Once activated, this lymphocyte multiplies and releases large numbers of antibodies that match the pathogen's antigens. At the same time, memory cells are produced. These memory cells remain in the bloodstream for years, providing long-term immunity. If the same antigen enters the body again in the future, the memory cells quickly produce antibodies in much greater amounts. This rapid response destroys the pathogen before it can cause illness, giving the individual lasting protection. Now, let's look at the image illustrating B-cell activation, which is an important part of the immune response and is often triggered by vaccination. First, a harmless form of a pathogen is introduced into the body through the vaccine. The antigens on this pathogen trigger the immune system to respond. It takes a few days for the specific lymphocyte that can produce complementary antibodies to be activated and start multiplying. Once activated, these lymphocytes release large numbers of specific antibodies that fit the pathogen's antigens perfectly. At the same time, memory cells are formed. These memory cells can remain in the bloodstream for years, providing long-term immunity. If the same antigen enters the body again in the future, these memory cells allow antibodies to be produced much faster and in greater amounts, destroying the pathogen before it can cause illness. To summarize the steps shown in the image, first, a harmless form of the pathogen is introduced into the body through vaccination. The antigens on this pathogen then trigger an immune response. Over the next few days, specific lymphocytes that can produce complementary antibodies are activated. These lymphocytes multiply and release antibodies that perfectly match the pathogen's antigens. At the same time, memory cells are formed. These memory cells provide long-term immunity and allow the body to respond much faster if the same antigen is encountered again. In this way, vaccination trains the immune system to recognize and fight off infections efficiently, keeping the body protected against future diseases.